This is the Pokemon game where you play as Jessie and James from Team Rocket. So we're about to take on the task of becoming the best Team Rocket members ever. But we do have a few goals though. We need to complete at least 6 missions for Team Rocket. We need to rob a Pokemon store. And we also need to steal at least 1 starter Pokemon. But before we do any of that, a message from our sponsor.
Oh man, I wish there was a fun mobile game I could play. Hey kid, I might have what you need. Oh my lord, is that WWE champion The Rock? Yeah, kid, you should check out Raid Shadow Legends, the best mobile game of all time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends that's celebrating its 4th year anniversary. Raid is a fantastic mobile RPG that is packed to the brim with unique champions, unique abilities, insanely amazing graphics, and also loads of factions, one of which is the Lizardmen, which are my personal favorite. One of them is Razine Scarhide, a great legendary lizard champion who can be fused, but that's not all. If we get him, we can take him to the arena and test our strength against other players, but perhaps they're not good enough, so instead we need a better challenge, which we can find at Iragoth the Eternal Dragon in the Doom Tower. She's the ultimate boss, man. She's a real challenge. That's not all. If we just go to the Doom Tower, we'll be able to find loads of awards, new champions, and things we always wanted. But that's not all. Raid is also celebrating its 4th year anniversary, which means there's loads of free gifts, promo codes, and events, as well as a anniversary themed legendary champion you guys can get. So what are you guys waiting for right now? Click our link in the description down below or scan our QR code to get your hands on the epic champion Kalan the Shrine. And since it's Raid's birthday, there is also gifts for all new and existing players. By entering the promo code 4YearsRaid, you can get your hands on 4 legendary skill tomes. And that's it. Once you're in the game, you can maybe also add me, guys, and try to join my clan if you are fast enough. So check the links in the description or scan our QR code, and thank you to Raid.
Let's go. So of course we're going to be playing as James, of course, in this case, which means we're going to nickname ourselves with the same name, and we look just like James, which is perfect. So we wake up in our bed, we go around and looking for our Pokeballs as we grab our whole team. As we go downstairs, we meet up with, well, Meowth and Jessie, who are telling us, well, we got a mission to do over in Hoenn, which means, well, we got to get the show on the road. So that's exactly what we do. They head outside, so we do the same thing, and guess what's waiting for us? It is the freaking Team Rocket balloon. You guys already know this one. It is the best one. So we arrive in Hoenn, we meet up with the fellas, but all of a sudden something is happening. There is a Pokemon that's about to run into us, and it's going to be none else than freaking Torchic. Yes, it's a random Torchic just running into us. I'm not sure if this is a reference to a specific episode, because all of a sudden the twerps show up. You got Ash, you got May, you've got freaking Brock, and we got to battle Ash in this scenario. So let's see how the battle goes. Of course, he starts off with a Trico, which is interesting. We go for Tackle. He tries to go for a Leer to lower our defense, but that's not a problem because we can just keep spamming. Also, we have a little bit of a higher level in this case, so that's perfect. Trico gets taken down, and then he also uses a Swellow. Here we do the same thing. Hits us with a kind of quick attack, but then we go for a bunch of quick, you know, just tackles in this case, in this scenario, that do a lot of damage. He goes for a Growl, which just lowers our attack, which means we just need to attack it one more time with a tackle to defeat it, which is exactly what we do. So there it is. The twerp has been defeated. However, all of a sudden, he uses Pikachu to blast us off at the speed of light. Yes, we get shot into the stratosphere, which means we have been following the true motto of Team Rocket. We get blasted off into nowhere. Either way, we're now on a random beach. We decide to talk to Meowth and, of course, also to Jessie, because, well, what are we doing, guys? We need to figure out what our goals are. Clearly, Pikachu isn't maybe the best goal to go for, so let's figure something else out. Either way, while we're on the beach, we meet a Delibird, and this Delibird, for some reason, just gives us loads of free Pokeballs and just items, which is, hey, pretty nice. I appreciate it. Why not? I mean, I'll take it. So, we are actually in Lily Cove City right now, so we go around a little bit looking for where we need to proceed next, which turns out to be the docks. As we reach the docks, it looks like, well, Jessie's already here. She's dealing with one of the people working on the boat. It's one of the, I don't know, the ladies that works on it. However, the captain actually shows up, and, well, he kind of comes in our way and forces us into a battle. So, Fisherman Pepe here goes up against us with his Goldeen. We go in for the tackle, of course, as per usual, which does a decent amount of damage. We go in for a second one. They go for Water Sport here, I think, which is just random. We're not really going to be using any fire-type moves, so we're pretty much safe and fine in this regard. We take down the Goldeen, which is not that big of a deal. Get a few levels, and there it is. We now have access to the boat. But it turns out the boat is going to be a bit interesting. It's loaded. I really mean it. loaded up with a bunch of Aqua Grunts. But guys, basically, we are currently in Hoenn, which means we've got to deal with a bunch of Team Aqua members. They've taken over this boat, so we got to deal with them. And I'm not sure if this is SS Ann or whatever. You guys know the names of these, SS Tidal at this point. Nonetheless, this person up first is going to have himself a Coalfish, which we take down pretty easily. Then there is a Carvana. Same thing here. We're able to take it down with just a big spam of tackles, which eventually does take it out. And then we have to battle another actual Team Aqua Grunt that's kind of in our way. Now, this one right here blocked us and made us not able to go through because we got to go into the basement. We take down the Meryl up first here. We go in for the tackles as per usual. We do also have self-destruct, but I decided it's not really smart to go for self-destruct. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to nuke ourselves. And, you know, we do have 3 Pokemon. I should point that out, right? We do actually have a team of 3 Pokemon, but nonetheless, I still don't want to, you know, waste one of our Pokemon away already. Nonetheless, we make it into the basement. Here we meet up with Jessie and also Meowth, as well as Wobbuffet. And hey, it looks like Team Aqua is down here. They're trying to steal some stuff. So we're going to be getting in their way because we got to get it for the boss. You know, we got to get it for the boss, Giovanni. He needs it. First up is one of the grunts here who uses a Sharpedo. We hit it with multiple, again, tackles. It's pretty much the only move I think we have, and I think it is tackle. But yeah, pretty much just keep hitting it with tackle, which, again, does a decent amount of damage. It's nothing amazing, but it's enough to take it down. And since our levels are relatively low here, you know, it's pretty easy. Next up, however, is going to be a battle against the final member here, which is going to be one of the Aqua admins, and it's going to be none else than Sylvina, or Sylvia, I don't know, something like that. Now, she starts off with a Crawdont and a Milotic. We, of course, have a Cacnea and a Weezing in our team. We also have a Weepin Bell. I should point that out as well in case you guys are wondering. So here is mostly just spamming a lot of Absorbs, as we do have Absorb on our fella. We don't really have Leech Seed yet, which is going to get that later on, which will come in really, really handy. I'm telling you, Leech Seed, really handy, really helpful, as a lot of times we do get into really big trouble in this game. However, though, we keep spamming Tackle, and Milotic now is getting low. I think she only really had 2 Pokemon, so once we go in with the Leaf Blade, we take it down, and it's gone. So yeah, there it is. We've defeated the Team Aqua admin, and she flies away, which means we've completed our mission here, which is 1 mission completed now. Alright, so now that we finished that off, we decide to leave the boat. As we head up here, we meet up with Atlas, one of the people working at Team Rocket, one of the head boys at Team Rocket, and we discuss things with him, and he tells us to go to the, well, base, the Team Rocket main base. And I'm gonna be real, the Team Rocket headquarters are pretty freaking snazzy. This place looks really cool. And, well, we go up here and we meet up with Giovanni, who gives us a new mission. We have a specific mission we gotta complete, so let's get that one done right away. However, before we can even leave the building, we run into Cassidy and Butch. You guys may remember these guys as sort of being the rivals of Jessie and James in Team Rocket in some of the earlier seasons. Well, they want to battle us, so let's do that. So we are going to be battling Butch, the well, blue-haired fellow over here, who's going to be starting off with a Houndour. We of course go in with the tackles as per usual. Again, most of our other moves are not really going to be that effective. We do also have Poison Gas, but in this case, well, we don't really end up using it until this point. So here we do get the poison off, which is perfect, which means we can do a little bit of damage. However, we end up missing a lot of moves as well, so we have to switch over into Victory Bell. But like I said, we do have the poison on there, so we should be pretty safe. We also have what looks to be Leaf Storm, or I mean, actually, it's more like Wine Whip or something. I'm not even sure myself, to be honest. But nonetheless, we do end up defeating them, and they blast off at the speed of light. Next, we do actually do a little bit of sightseeing all around the base. We buy ourselves some Rocket Balls, because yes, there is a Pokemart inside of the Team Rocket headquarters, which is honestly really, really great, man. I do hope they also have a retirement plan for Team Rocket Grunts. It would be really great to know if once I've done all my work for about 67 years, if I will actually get a good retirement. Nonetheless, kids, we also decide to do a little bit of gambling, and I'm going to show you right here where you shouldn't gamble in real life or in Pokemon, because we end up losing all our coins. All of our coins in 15 seconds. Well, actually, it's sped up 15 seconds, but nonetheless, don't gamble, kids. It's not good for you. You're going to lose all your cash, because that's exactly what happens to me. Either way, once we've lost all our money, we take the Team Rocket balloon and head over to Palatown, where we go into the Professor's lab. We are here specifically on a mission to steal the starter Pokemon. These are very important. Giovanni wants us to do it, so here we are. We got all 3 of them in front of us. We're just going to sightsee a little bit, look what's around, and it turns out, oh no, the Professor has arrived, and he's here with, well, Ash's mom, which is never a good indication. So what are we gonna have to do? Well, we're gonna have to deal with them in a right fashion, which means we gotta battle, baby. That's always what you gotta do if you get in trouble. So in this case, he has a Mr. Mime. I'm assuming this is the Mr. Mime that belongs to Ash's mom. We try to go for the Poison Gas, which the first time doesn't hit, but second time around does. He keeps on putting like just a bunch of walls all the time, but nonetheless, we keep trying to go for the tackles, and with the help of the poison, we do end up taking it down here without even having to use Cacnea Cagna, which is great. That also means that they've lost the battle, which means we keep the Pokemon, and also that means we've completed another mission. Yes, another mission has pretty much been completed now. But first of all, before we can actually complete the mission, we got to go and tell Giovanni, our boss, about it. So we talk to Giovanni, and guess what? He actually gives us a option, right? We get to choose one of the starters, Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle, to become one of our Pokemon. Yes, we get a free starter Pokemon, and of course, we're going to go for Charmander because I just feel like doing it, and we get 3,000 Pokédollars. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Second mission has been completed. There it is, another mission done and dusted. So, the next mission is going to be, well, having us go over to Viridian City. You guys may remember Viridian, the home of, well, Giovanni's gym itself, but nonetheless, why are we here? Well, we're actually here for a particular reason, but first of all, we're going to avoid the Popo, because there is a police officer here and there's a whole police station and stuff. First of all, we do deal with this police officer who has a Vulpix. This is a relatively difficult battle, actually, as we do struggle a little bit with our team, but nonetheless, we do defeat him and he runs away in fear. We do a little bit of exploring on Route 2. This route is sort of locked off. There are a few things blocking it. In this case, there is a straight up Snorlax at one point blocking it, which we can't do anything about for now. Maybe somewhere down the line we can. It turns out, though, our mission here is actually to go and steal a, well, I guess a Chansey, right? We need to steal a Chansey that belongs to the Nurse Joy of here. So that's exactly what we're about to do. The Chansey goes into a battle against us. It's not even Nurse Joy we're battling. It's literally the, Chansey itself, which is fair enough. We go into Cagna here and we're able to do, well, a little bit of chip damage. We go for Absorb just to get our health back in case we get hit by this thing. But luckily, this Chansey is not doing any damage to us. It's just a healer Pokemon, so it's not really going to try to damage us. However, we defeat it, which also means we capture it. We've done one of our missions here once again. However, now we also need to make sure we can escape from here. So once we've done that, we get outside. Guess what? We've got the freaking Pokemon, but we run into the Popo. Yes, the police are here, and guess what? Meowth runs away and leaves us, and yeah, we go into prison, which is ridiculous. We end up in literally prison, man. I don't know how often Team Rocket and Jessie James end up there, but it seems like this time we got really unlucky and ended up at the Popo. However, Meowth ran away so he could come back and save us later, which is a bit of a dick move, but also I do appreciate it. Hey, at least he came through and actually helped us at the end, so we're done with that. Now, as we're leaving the place, me and Meowth are just chilling and vibing and talking a little bit when the police officer shows up once again. And yes, these guys don't seem to like leaving us alone, man. The Popo is just after us all the time. So he has a Growlithe. We go in, of course, with Victory Bell and Cagna. We do end up kind of losing both of them at one point here, so we make sure to go in for Charmander as the finishing blow, as our Charmander will come in handy later down the line and be quite powerful. We then take the whole balloon back to base as we get back to Giovanni and talk to our boss and tell him about our completed mission. He's very happy with us as he rewards us with 3,000 Pokédollars, and that means, ladies and gentlemen, that yes, another one of our missions has been completed. We're halfway through the missions, which is awesome, and yeah, let's see where we go from here. Next up, we take the balloon over to Viridian Forest, which is currently, experiencing a bit of a rainstorm, I guess. Nonetheless, we're here, and it's time to do a bit of exploring. Now, what we have to actually do is get over to Pewter City, but before that, we're going to be stopped by a bunch of bug catchers. In this case, we're dealing with this fella right here, who has a Butterfree and a Beedrill, which are both extremely difficult to defeat with our whole team, which kind of consists of two grass-type Pokemon, which is not the best combo. Either way, we do reach Pewter City. Now, what is our mission? Well, we actually have to steal some fossils from the museum in Pewter. As you guys know, Pewter City is famous for its museum and also the fossils that can kind of be recreated here. So yeah, we're here for that particular reason. However, I didn't realize it was the back door we had to go through. So once we figure out which door it is, we go inside. Of course, our friends Wobbuffet, Meowth, and Jessie, they surround all the workers and kick them out as we take on and battle the scientist. Now, the scientist here is going to be Martin, and Martin has himself a, only a singular Pokemon is going to be a Voltorb. But of course, we can't use any poison-type moves against this thing. Pretty sure it can handle those, so we can't really do much in that regard. But it's not the end of the world. Remember, we still have a few things to work with. So we go for the tackles here as we try to spam through these things. And of course, he could also nuclearly blast us into oblivion if he wanted to. However, he keeps going for charge, which is really strange, man, as he doesn't end up really doing any damage to us, and we finish him with a tackle, which is perfect. However, as I mentioned, there are a few things that might go wrong here, and one of those things in particular is going to be the fact that this guy runs away, okay? We don't actually manage to get ourselves the fossils. He runs away with them, and he runs to Mount Moon. So now we gotta go and follow along with him. But as we're following along, guys, as we're going through Mount Moon, well, there's a lot of battles that have to be done. We do a few of these in a row. We have to heal ourselves up a few times. But nonetheless, as we're doing this, I might as well ask you guys, what is your favorite Pokemon that is owned by Team Rocket? I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, what is your favorite Pokemon that Team Rocket actually owns? Either way, once you've let me know that in the comments, well, get back up here because we are about to enter Mount Moon. So we've reached the location here. We go up in this area of Mount Moon, which is usually not accessible. And guess what? There he is. A scientist is waiting for us. Well, we got to battle him. So let's take him on. This fella is going to be keeping us away from the fossils that we need to do and get for the boss. Okay, so here we go. Of course, this scientist, well, it's Miguel. It's not really the same one as before. And this guy, well, he actually has the fossils that we needed from before. So he has a Grimer and a Voltorb. Again, I'm a little bit sus of what to do here. I decide, you know what? Let's just go for self-destruct, which is perfect as it takes out his Voltorb and I guess his Grimer as well, and also our team. But guess what? We do end up winning. So it ends up being in our favor in this case. We take the fossils, which now is pretty much all we really needed to complete our mission. So what do? Well, we exit the Mount Moon itself, go back to the, well, forest in this case, take the balloon back home, and here we are talking to Giovanni, who we give the stuff to. Of course, he's the boss. He takes all this stuff, but fear not, because he does reward us. So there you go, guys. We got 5,000 Pokédollars, and 4 out of 6 missions have been completed, which is perfect. Now, what do we do? Well, there's more missions, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading over to Fuchsia City. We take the balloon. We're here. Now, why are we in Fuchsia City in particular? Well, we're actually here to steal some of the Safari Pokemon. We are going to be basically poaching them, which is really messed up if you're going to be honest here, but nonetheless, it is what it is. First of all, though, we do need some berries, so we go in here and basically just steal some berries from this old lady and this whole place, which is a little bit messed up again, but nonetheless, we are willing to do everything for Team Rocket, so that's exactly what we do. We steal some berries, and now it's time to enter the Safari Zone itself. Now, when we first enter, we try to do it legally, so we actually pay here, which I think is really stupid, man, because we're going to pay 500, so 1,500 in total for all 3 of us. We're even paying for Meowth, which I think is ridiculous. It's a straight up scam. So, hey, if we do a little bit of poaching, I don't see that being an issue. So what do? Well, we find ourselves a Nidoran. We try to capture it with some Safari Balls, which we actually do. However, the Park Ranger gets pissed off and uses his Nidoking to Earthquake us into oblivion. And we are sent into like Route 13 or something, which is ridiculous. But now we're going to find a different way into the Safari Zone. So we're going to take some back alleys to get there. And here he is. Wobbuffet is waiting for us. He shows us the way, and we got to do this long path, okay? It's a really long path to get there, but at least this path is going to take us kind of a safer way into the Safari Zone. So as we're exploring, we also find a Noctowl, which I decide, hey, you know what? We might as well capture it. Our team is looking pretty weak at the moment. We might as well add a few more Pokemon to the squad, which is exactly what we do. So welcome to the squad, Noctowl. We then meet up with Jessie and Meowth, but apparently we still haven't made it all the way to the Safari Zone. There's still like a long back road to take to get there. We explore a little bit of the beach. As we are making our way around here, we run into a bug catcher that forces us into a massive battle. Now, for the most part, this battle is pretty easy as we're using, well, Charmander in this case, who does a lot of damage with the embers and even gets a burn on this area, though. However, the best part is that Charmander then gets to evolve into a Charmeleon. Yes, we have a fully evolved Charmeleon right now. I mean, of course, we do want to have a Charizard, but nonetheless, this is good enough. We go into the Zubat cave where, well, we run into way too many Zubats. There's literally armies of Zubats in this cave. I mean, you can just literally see them on screen right here. There's just a straight up army of Zubats. Nonetheless, once we've exited that area, there's only a little bit of area left to go, and we have reached the Safari Zone. Now that we're in the Safari Zone, we have a mission. We have a list of Pokemon that we have to capture, okay? These are Pokemon that the boss wants to get his hands on, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. One of the first Pokemon we find is going to be Dragonair. Of course, it's gonna be a relatively difficult Pokemon to capture, but nonetheless, we still need it. It's one of the Pokemon on the list. So after spamming a bunch of Safari Balls, we do get it, and there it is. It's now part of our squad, or actually part of our list. So we give that to Meowth. He's the one keeping track of the list and what we need. Once we got that Pokemon added, well, we still have a few other ones that we also got to get. And along the way, I'm going to be honest, I capture loads of different Pokemon in the Safari Zone just for fun. We also need a Kangaskhan. That's one of the necessary Pokemon, as well as Tauros is also needed on the list. But fear not, there is still a few other really cool Pokemon, such as, in my case here, we got to get ourselves a Rhydon as well. So we capture it with Safari Balls and, of course, add it to the squad as well. It does take a bit of time, though. I'm not even going to lie. I was recording this very late at night, so it was getting a little tedious after a while. But nonetheless, we got right on. And then, of course, we give all those over to Meowth. We also got a Nido King and a Nido Queen, I should point out. But nonetheless, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We've done that as well, which means the mission is completed, which means, yeah, that's 5 out of 6 missions. But before we do any of that, we do have a little bit of a side mission, which is we got to rob a Pokemon Mart or Pokemart. So that's what we're doing, guys. We're literally robbing this Pokemart for its items. Yes, we are doing that. But the Popo shows up. The police is here, which means, we got to battle the police officer, Jenny, to actually get out of this situation. So that's exactly what's going to happen, ladies and gents. We got to take on her Growlithe and team of fire types. Now, we start off by just going for a bunch of scratches, which do a decent amount of damage. Then there is a second Growlithe, and these things are about level 20, and we've actually leveled up quite a lot now from doing the Safari mission. I'll be honest, the Safari mission was the one that actually took the longest amount of time to do. But nonetheless, there it is. We completed another mission. We've robbed a Pokemon for all it's worth. So we head back to Giovanni to finish up our 5th mission from earlier, the Safari Zone mission, which gives us 15,000 Pokédollars, which is incredible. And also about 10 Great Balls. After doing this, we go down into the Team Rocket subway. This is a secret subway that's used only by Team Rocket. It's a secret one, of course. You know, it's in the name, secret subway. Nonetheless, as we enter it, we go given a few options, right? Since we've got to wait all this time, we could either A, just chill here for a bit, stare into infinity, or we could have a conversation with the guy in front of us, or even have a battle with someone for fun. But we decided to just chat with the fella in front of us, just to see what he's up to, what he feels about all this stuff, and just things like, you know, in that nature. Nonetheless, once we've dealt with that, we get over to the next city, where specifically, I think, could be Celadon City in this case. I mean, the bases are all over the place. Now, we talk to Atlas, and then we talk to one of the boss ladies. She tells us we have a new mission, which is to deal with a Snorlax blocking one of the roads. So we go over there to deal with it. However, it looks like our Pokemon can't do much. So Viper has no effect, and even Meowth has no effect on it. Just doesn't want to wake up. However, this biker tells us, well, if you want to wake it up, you got to go to Lavender Town. So that's exactly what we do. We head over to Lavender Town. We meet up with Jessie and Meowth, and we got to deal with Mr. Fuji. Inside, he has a Poke Flute, which is needed to wake it up. So these kids are, of course, going to be trying to stop us. So we battle them. The Nidorino falls very, very quickly, which is not a problem. And then, of course, there's also a Psyduck. And same thing here. Even though we are poisoned and everything, we still win the battle without any problems. And then we steal the Poke Flute as we need it. So we leave Mr. Fuji, go over to Snorlax. We wake it up. And what happens now? Well, this big fella wakes up and we capture him. Yes, we decide to actually capture him, add him to a squad. I mean, he's really powerful. We had enough Pokeballs to do it. So there it is. We have a new partner in our team. But that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. As we're going back into the base, we're stopped by the grunts who think that we are a intruder. And he's like, whoa, 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 where? Like, wait, chill, guys. Well, you know, I'm one of you. It turns out that was Mr. Fuji. He actually made it all the way down here, but he gets escorted out after being told a lesson. So there it is, another mission completed, which means, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for our journey. We completed our journey in Pokemon Team Rocket, Jessie and James for now, guys. If there's an update in this game in the future, I will do a video on that too. But I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.